and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a slightly different video for myself. I've never done anything like this on my channel before, so I figured why not bring you all with me. So today I went up and visited Kate at the Geb Green glass house and saw their like hundreds of thousands of plants, and I thought I would bring you along with me, show you what I saw, what it was like, what they were up to. And I also had a great chat with Kate about what makes them different than any other UK houseplant seller, and to be honest, it's a lot. So before I get into the glass house, I just want to say, if you are new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. So yeah, let's go back in time to when I was visiting the Geb Green warehouse. Here at Geb Green, their greenhouse, if you couldn't tell, and it is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm here with Kate, who is the owner of Geb Green. And so, yeah, tell us a little bit about Geb Green to start.
Green. Yeah, so we have started the business. Ultimate aim is to shake up the houseplant industry. Horticulture is very, very slow moving in terms of adaptability and making changes. Historically, the vast majority of houseplants have been imported yes. from the Netherlands and grown in peat. So from
yes.
a sustainability angle, it really isn't great.
Yeah.
But we're not here to bash.
Yeah.
We are here to provide the solution.
Okay, so you mentioned peat. What is peat and why is it good or
why
bad?
Is it special? Yeah, so peat is the most precious resource for tackling, natural resource for tackling climate change.
Okay.
So peat is formed in peatlands, which essentially are wetland areas. So when the plant material on the surface decomposes, because there is a lack of oxygen and a lack of nutrients, that process happens incredibly slowly.
Okay.
So instead of carbon normally being released into the atmosphere, it's actually stored and locked away in the peatlands. And we're talking a phenomenal amount.
Yeah.
So globally, peatlands store twice as much carbon as all of the world's forests combined.
Oh my goodness. And there's not, like, they're much smaller in comparison, aren't they?
Absolutely. Peatlands cover only 3% of the world's surface. Yeah.
3% and like over twice the carbon.
Twice the amount of all our forests.
That is insane. And so why would you not want to have peat in your soil? Is like the harvesting of it bad?
Yeah, exactly that. So the extraction of peat means that the carbon that was once locked away oxidizes. So becomes carbon dioxide and it's released into the atmosphere.
Yeah, we don't like that.
We do not want that.
We don't want that.
Absolutely not. And obviously there's the carbon sequestration that happens, which is phenomenal. But peatlands are also store huge amounts of water, so they act as a really, really great natural flood defense. So when we start extracting and essentially drying out the peatlands, that water has to go somewhere. And we're already seeing all these issues of flooding in the UK, and that's only going to exacerbate if we start digging up peatlands.
So is UK one of the like peatland?
So in the UK, we actually only have about 20% of undamaged peatlands. pounds.
Oh, okay.
Left.
Wow.
So it's really, really important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what is the benefit of putting peat in soil? Why have we done it for so long? Why is that the norm in houseplants?
The norm for peat, it happened in about the 60s. Peat became very popular. One of the reasons is it's very cheap and light to transport. And it's easily accessible because it is in the UK. Peat actually isn't that great. There are downsides for using peat.
Yeah.
The pH balance isn't always great. It's very acidic, and it has very low nutritional value.
Okay, interesting. Because I don't know if you've heard much about like the CEC or cation exchange capacity.
Yeah.
So like it has a really high. It's one of the highest cation exchange capacity, meaning like it can hold on to nutrients. That you've added
that
in.
You add, exactly.
So it might, I guess,
naturally it doesn't have a great nutritional.
That makes sense. Yeah. But it is good to hold on to nutrients, and that's why a lot of growers use it in plants because, like you said, all those other things.
But I'd like to think, just looking around, it was just to prove that we don't need to be using peats. We can leave those in the peatlands. We can act as a natural flood event.
Yeah.
The habitat itself is great for biodiversity. So again, if we start ruining the habitat, we're going to lose wonderful flora, fauna, and everything else. And also, peat itself helps clean our water.
Oh.
So 70% of our drinking water comes from peatland catchment areas, and it works as a natural filter.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So again,
we don't want to get rid of that.
We don't want to get rid of that because that just means more energy, more resource in terms of cleaning our water.
So what is Geb Green doing to like replace peat, which is, like I said, the norm?
Yeah. So we are actually utilising coir as our growing medium.
Coconut
coir. Yeah. The real USP here is we recycle that. So the coir that you see in these houseplants would have been recycled anywhere between 20 and 30 times.
Are you serious? So you're just reusing?
You reuse it, yes.
Oh so my goodness!
Historically, the glass houses have been used to grow cut flowers.
Okay.
And obviously the harvesting of the cut flowers means that growing medium stays in the glass house.
Yeah.
So we have our own sterilising facility. All of that growing medium goes in. It's heated with steam alone, no gas involved, and comes out sterile, so we can reuse it.
That's amazing. I mean, as you can see by all of the plants, they are looking like stunning as well.
Yeah, we're really proud of the quality here for sure.
It very much so looks like they're not missing the peat.
Nope. No.
Honestly, like I've never heard of I know that peat is bad.
Yeah.
Because that's what people say. Yeah. But you don't really hear why. No one ever gives you like a clear-cut reason. Yeah. And so it's quite nice that you're like sharing this information in a real way and putting it into practice and putting it out to the masses, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we all know that we should all be living more sustainable lives.
Yes.
But what we're trying to do is offer a solution that doesn't compromise on quality, doesn't compromise on price, because we are benchmarked against our competitors, which is an intentional thing to do. Yeah. I think there's this assertion out there that, if you buy eco, you have to pay a premium.
Yeah, it's so hard to like shop sustainably in any industry, and so it's quite good to hear you say that you're trying to be as competitively priced as possible. And I mean, looking on the website, the plants aren't any more expensive than they are from any other seller I could find online. So it's
that's good to hear. That's what we're aiming for. But I think also, obviously, from a sustainability angle, we've spoken about the peat-free and the recycled growing medium, but actually in the glass house, we're doing as much as we can as well. Yeah. So most of the glass houses. Vast majority of the glass houses in Holland are heated using gas.
Okay.
We all know the problem of gas.
Very expensive.
Well, all our heating bills are going up. But we are using a biomass boiler. So we actually use wood chip, which has been approved on the government's RHI scheme.
Okay.
So very much utilising that renewable fuel energy.
Okay, that's amazing. So you're not using any, are you not on like the gas lines or anything?
No
that's
gas
great.
whatsoever. The lighting that we use, you'll probably see there aren't any lights on here at the moment. And we really do try and keep the lighting to a minimum. But when we do, on the aloes, for example, they're LED lights.
Yeah.
And then the other element is we capture all of the rainwater from the roof.
Okay.
So all of that goes fed through. You'll see all the pipes and everything.
The roof is very like
pitched.
Yeah. I don't know what to call that.
Multiple pitches, I would say.
So you can collect the rainwater.
We have the drainage in between. So we collect all the rainwater and that goes through to our automated misting system.
Okay.
And anything extra that we need, we have a spring-fed reservoir, so we don't need to touch the mains.
That is amazing. So you're almost like an off-the-grid greenhouse.
Self-sufficient. Yeah.
That is so fantastic.
So we are really trying to complete that sustainable side.
Yeah, I feel like that's so important, and it's something that all of us want to care about, but it's in this industry, it's not something.
It's been the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
People haven't spoken about it because they're not proud of it.
Yeah.
They don't want to make change.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
Yeah.
But we're trying to prove that wrong.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it's really also important to note that, like, I don't want to shame anybody for using or having plants with peat in them. Like, probably more than half of my collection has peat in their soil when I got them. I've since changed out a lot of them to something like Soil Ninja or whatever, who don't use peat in their soils at all.
They're proudly peat-free too.
Yeah, so now probably not very many plants in my collection have peat, but when you're getting them in, a lot of those soils that like might look like just coir is probably peat too. And so it's not something you need to be ashamed of, but it's
an awareness piece.
Yes,
I think that's
exactly.
what we're trying to do. We're trying to raise awareness of the damage that peat can do.
Yeah.
And actually get people questioning, where is my houseplant from?
Yeah.
What is it grown in?
Yeah.
Is it really as green as I think it could be?
Yeah, I think because a lot of houseplant people, we like the green, but it's like it's how do we continue to make that a healthy thing for ourselves and the earth?
Yes.
Because we can't continue to just take and take and take from the earth.
Yeah,
because
we've got a finite resource here. We need to protect
one world.
Exactly.
It's getting very like political right now.
But it's true.
It's true.
You know, I've got young children, and it's genuinely on my conscience. You
Yeah.
know, what we're taking from our earth now, it's not necessarily going to be replaced.
Yeah, and like, even though peat is something that grows, like you said, it grows so slowly.
Yeah, so
that
to put that into context, it takes 1 year to grow just 1 millimetre of peat.
1 millimetre.
Yeah. So
Oh my.
10 years for 1 centimetre.
And like, imagine how much peat is coming in each houseplant. Like, obviously, none of these have peat in them, but there's quite a lot of millimeters there. So
when you put it like that, yeah,
that's a lot of peat. So that's easily, I mean, what, 12 centimeter pot?
Yeah.
Like, 120 years to grow that much peat? I mean, obviously it'd be over a grand space of things, but
yeah,
like,
in terms of the depth you're talking,
that's a lot of like time and resources and things that we don't, it's not necessary.
no. The damaged UK peatlands that I've already touched on, they are releasing more carbon than all of our HGVs on our roads. So we're not talking a small amount.
Yeah, no,
You know,
a lot.
There's a reason everyone's turning to electric cars.
Yeah.
Where actually a really simple swap can have a really significant difference.
Yeah.
And it's one you can pat yourself on the back for. You
Yeah,
know, you're
yeah.
not making any impact to your life, just making things better for the world.
It's such a good message, and I think it's such a great thing to have someone like you so like local to the UK to be able to do this. And it kind of, it's creating a standard that I would hope,
Yes.
like,
Becomes
other
the
people,
industry norm.
that other
Yeah.
people raise themselves too.
Mhm.
And like, you're setting the bar quite high just because you've got beautiful plants and the amount of sustainability that you're working on here. Like, you set the bar high, and I think people need to catch up at this point.
Yeah, and there is so much room for more.
Yeah.
You know, let's make this switch, let's make the change,
Yeah.
and raise the awareness. We are one of few growers doing this, but we need the demand coming from the bottom up as well.
Yes, I mean, it's one of those things, vote with your dollar, vote with your pound. Like, we as consumers of houseplants are going to be the ones that say, hey, this is what we need, this is what we want, instead of, like, because as many people can try and do this, but if the demand isn't there, the supply can't be, just because people, like businesses need to follow the money in order to survive.
And I think as well, you know, there's a lot of greenwashing going on out there, so I think people are led to believe that they're buying something that's greener than it is. You know, language and imagery that's being used on some of these plants when they're being sold. There's a lot of companies out there saying, we will plant a tree for every houseplant that you buy. Question, why do they need to do that? What are they trying to cover up?
To offset,
They are trying to, if they weren't using peat in the first place, then you wouldn't need to plant a tree. And even tree, I mean, I'm not going to go down that avenue because that's another conversation, but tree planting has to be incredibly well managed for that to be effective in terms of carbon offsetting as well.
And I mean, also the amazing thing is that it is UK grown, all of this, and like so many plants that I have, as well as most of you out there, are going to be plants that were grown in the Netherlands, were grown in South America, were grown in Asia. I mean, I'm guilty of importing plants, and I know that that's not the best on the carbon footprint side, but if we continue to support the local businesses like you, like I'm seeing even in the greenhouse, you're getting those plants that are just like that one step above in rarity or uncommonness, and like just that one step, and then the more popular you get, it'll be the next step and the next step, and then we're going to be able to get those uncommon plants.
We have your iconic plants. You've got your monsteras, your strelitzias, but like you say, we're not ready yet. But we've got the campi, the jacqueline. Yeah, there are some slightly more unusual plants coming through for sure.
I think that's great because you're creating yourself a bigger and bigger market.
That's the plan.
Which is, it's working, because I want to buy about everything in this whole greenhouse.
Sadly, Emma came on the train.
It's unfortunate. And I think it would also be a good thing to do to like chat to your local, them. Chat to your like local like plant shops and your online ones, message them on Instagram, ask them whether or not they've got peat in their soil, and like even just asking it, even if they say yes, they do. That is okay, but you asking that question shows to them that you have this sort of on your mind and it's a concern for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it can potentially create an environment where more people will go peat-free and maybe more people will recycle their soil, and then we'd have so much less waste.
Exactly. And we are looking for stockists as well, so, you know, if there are people out there, do get in contact, because we may be able to support you in getting that access to more peat-free plants, for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was my visit and my chat with Kate. I honestly feel like I learned so much in that conversation. I had no idea how bad peat was. Like, I knew that it was not good. Like, I knew I should be avoiding it, but I didn't know quite how bad it was and why I should be avoiding it. And so I feel like that really opened up my mind to like how I can make even the smallest of difference within my hobby. So yeah, I hope that you all learned something from this conversation as well, because it's genuinely so interesting to me. This kind of stuff fascinates me, and it's one of those things where I want to be as sustainable as possible for the world, but it's not always the easiest thing to do, and I love that Geb Green are making it like so easy. I also want to say this isn't sponsored by them. They just wanted to show me around and tell me what they're about, and it was so much fun. It was also really surreal being in like a literal glass house with, I think she said there were like 500 to 700,000 plants in there. I was surrounded by hundreds of thousands of plants. Like, as far as your eye could see, there were houseplants. It was completely surreal and so much fun, and I really enjoyed my visit. I'll make sure to link everything down below in the description to their website and Instagram and stuff, and definitely worth checking them out because they are very cool. And if you're UK based, maybe you can shop with them and get some like more sustainable houseplants in like so many different ways as well. Like, it's not just the peat thing, it's like so many things. So yeah, check them out. They're really cool. But yeah, that is it. That is my visits to the Geb Green warehouse, glasshouse, greenhouse thing. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, one, give it a thumbs up, but also let me know down below if you liked this sort of thing, if you like talking about sort of houseplants as a whole and like where we can improve as a collectorship and things we can do and this sort of science behind it all. Like, please let me know, because this sort of stuff really fascinates me and I hope it fascinates you as well. So I'm happy to continue on doing stuff like this and bringing you along with me on my journey to becoming a better houseplant parent. So yeah, let me know down below, and don't forget to subscribe as well down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!